Matter of fact, I remember when I was in England, man, there was this one chick I was messing with, and she was getting passed around by the entire fire department. I'm not even joking. There's like 40 of us. White chick. Thick, like stupid thick, like thicker than the racial tension in the South in the 1800s thick. Like, ugh. Ah. What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Find Your Formula Reacts. And today we're going to be looking at the notorious debate that happened between the two people that I never thought I'd ever see in a room together, let alone in discourse. We're talking about the debate with Andrew Tate and what's her face? Bonnie Blue, the chick who slept with like 2,000 guys or 1,000 guys in one day. I've only seen like a couple clips of other people like talking about this, but I wanted to really kind of go in and look at about 20 to 30 minutes of this. So lock in. We're gonna pick this apart kind of piece by piece, look at each person's points to see if they bring up anything, which I doubt Bonnie Blue's talking about anything I give a damn about. But without any further ado, let's get into the video.
I'm just a clever slut.
You are the perfect end result of feminism. That's destructive.
By the time you finish calling me a whore, I'm going to leave this chair with a wet patch.
Rob, the world's... Bring the asteroid.
Do you think you're a good role model for
Start it
women?
off,
I'm a
Rob.
clear example of what women have fought for years.
So sleeping with 1,057 men in a day.
It's good work ethic.
We live in clown world, and I just enjoy the circus.
Sex workers help reduce rape rates by over 30%.
Do you think Andrew Tate is guilty of the charges against him?
You like there's no way out for you.
You're so trapped in the matrix.
You're judging me, Andrew.
Feminism is a bullet that a man has shot.
Do you send your son to Bonnie?
Andrew, I do father and son as well. Brother and brother?
It's all disgusting to me.
I heard they call you Cobra Tate. Are you packing a python?
Bonnie.
I would have Hitler to survive.
The entire Western world is women looking for money.
Imagine how powerful our baby would be.
Survivor DNA.
So who's tighter, your wife or me?
Next question, huh?
Let me answer then.
What's happening with Lily? You got Hobie.
Well, I'll tell you the full story.
Cool. Would I Bonnie for all the power in the world?
Yeah.
That was a lot. That little intro, that 1 minute rapid fire of just that was a lot to take in. I wasn't saying anything because my brain was melting. That was a lot. That was a lot. I do agree though. I do think that Bonnie is like the end result of feminism. I don't think this is what women fought for, but I do think if you take it to the extremes of where it's at now, that's what you get. You get a woman who sleeps around with literally thousands of men in one day, and it's celebrated, it's looked after. This person gets a level of notoriety and a level of fame. Part of the people that are faming her also shaming her and saying like, yo, that's disgusting. But then there's a whole nother group of people that are like championing what she did, and what she's done. And that is beyond me. Let's get into the content.
Andrew, what do you think of Bonnie Blue sleeping with 1,057 men?
How honest should I be out of 10?
I want you to be honest.
You want me to be honest?
Yeah, go on.
I don't understand why men sit here and try and lecture you about it. I don't understand why men sit here and say you shouldn't do it. It's
Yeah.
your body, your choice, right? This is the world we now live in. This is the end result of feminism. You are the perfect end result of feminism.
Yeah.
In the world I believe in the conservative, traditionally masculinely ruled world, a man would be in charge of his daughters until they're handed over to their husbands or boyfriends, and there would be a degree of masculine guidance. But feminism didn't want that. You know, women complain that men don't want to get married. We did actually want to get married when we got obedient virgins. And about the patriarchy, and they were tired of us giving them a house to live in and kids to raise, and they wanted to make their own choices.
Right.
So she's making her own choice.
Yeah.
That's a fantastic thing. I actually have a lot of respect for you because you own it and you're honest about it.
What if it was your daughter?
Well, that won't
Absolutely not. Yeah, nah.
She's her own person.
happen. My daughter's her own person. I said, I said
Are you
women
gonna
want to
be
be
a-
their own people. But my point is, there's so many women who go to Magaluf for a weekend and do something very similar, and then they come back to England and get with some fucking guy and start asking for presents from him and talking about how they deserve a traditional relationship and they want to get married and they want a Christmas present and all this bullshit.
Yeah, okay.
Most women,
That is fair. At least Bonnie owns it. At least she's like, hey, this is who I am. You know, I'm a paid whore, whatever the case may be. At least she owns it, because he's right. There's a lot of chicks that'll go behind your back and do this, that, and the other, and it'd be just as bad, if not worse. And then you're still stuck providing for her. You know what I'm saying? She's the mother of your kids. So that's a fair point. There are some women that do this and worse. At least she owns it. At least she owns up to it.
exactly what Bonnie does. I don't see you any different than most women. And I'm not saying that in a degrading way.
Most women don't sleep with 1,057 men in a day.
1,000? Does it fucking matter?
I think it does.
I don't really think it does.
So
it's all disgusting to me. If I met a woman and she said, I just sucked a dick yesterday, I'd say, well, I find you repulsive. I don't want to sleep with you. Goodbye.
So you're only going after virgins?
Well, it's not about only going after virgins, but I think if you're a straight man, the idea of having a bunch of men fuck a woman that you're with, it's pretty repulsive.
But everyone has a past.
But see, this is the kind of shit white people say. This is, I don't know what everyone has a past. That's not...
Hey, I didn't expect that at all. He said, this is the type of shit white people say. Everyone has a past. What are you talking about? What do you mean everyone has a past? Yeah, I've never once heard Andrew on any podcast talk about some, hey, yo, this is white people shit. This is crazy. That's crazy, yo. That's funny.
Straight man, the idea of having a bunch of men fuck a woman that you're with, it's pretty repulsive.
But everyone has a past.
But see, this is the kind of shit white people say. This is, I don't know what's wrong with you people. Everyone has a past. That's not acceptable. In fact, let's analyze that. Everyone has a past. You're right. Everyone does have a past. It's true. But isn't the primary objective of a man to find a woman with as little past as possible?
Yeah.
Would you argue that's one of the precursors to finding a wife?
Of course.
Considering that wives were supposed to be virgins. This was the deal. The reason I'm proud of Bonnie, and I am genuinely proud of you, I like Bonnie. I like what she's doing. Because the deal was...
Are you not, like, contradicting yourself?
In what way?
Well, you're proud of her sleeping with 1,057 guys, but women should be virgins.
No, I'm saying that the social contract, the construct of society that made family function, was women were obedient virgins. And
right, and then the man would come and take the spot of their father. Right, that's how it used to be. It used to be like the woman would come to you, she brings her youth, her beauty, her virginity, her fertility to the relationship, and you bring protection, provision, providing, you bring that to the relationship, and then you raise kids under the guise of that. But now what's happened with modern feminism is that women have pretty much taken their roles and just thrown them to the wind. You're not going to find a virgin in today's day and age, especially not in the West. You know what I'm saying? Femininity out the window, virginity out the window. Hell, even fertility now out the window, because you have women waiting later and later to get married in life. So all of the things that men traditionally wanted, except for beauty, you know, women are still beautiful, but some of them be looking rough because they do rough stuff. You know what I'm saying? They be drinking and driving and smoking. By the time they're 23, they look 33. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the things that men look forward to in a relationship and in a marriage has been taken off the table. And Bonnie is like the pinnacle of that, because she is the exact contrast of a traditional woman. And you see that in her actions with sleeping with, not only did she just sleep over 1,000 guys in her lifetime, she slept with over 1,000 men in what, a 24-hour span. So that's as far opposite of traditional as you can get. And I think that's what Tate's about to get into.
Man who provided for them, and they listened to that man. Women have then said, we don't like the patriarchy. We're tired of being provided for. We're tired of being taken care of. We don't want to listen to anybody. We want to make our own decisions. That was women and feminism that ended the traditional family unit.
Yep.
And now women can make their own decisions. So I'm glad that Bonnie's making her own decision.
Yeah,
I'm not here to tell you not to do it.
I take women back 100 years. I'm like, no, I'm the clear example of how to be empowered. I use my body. I do what I want, when I want. And this is the thing you've been banging on about for years. And when I get hate, like when I click on the comments of these women that are like, oh, you're taking us back 100 years. Then in their bio, it says stay-at-home mom of 2. I'm thinking, what the fuck was you rooting for?
That's
because
right.
you have just stayed
That's
at
right,
home.
Bonnie. See, this is the future.
Yeah.
This
Lord.
is the future. This is fantastic. It's exactly what Western society is headed to.
Yeah.
So why are we going to sit here and pretend this is not? Why are we going to sit here and pretend that most women who go on girls' holidays aren't doing something similar to what Bonnie does?
Very
just
fair
because it's on
point.
camera. Why are we going to sit here and
Very fair
pretend
point.
that these men who walk around with their wives in the pub in England, and they're like, oh, my wife, yeah, everyone has a past. Oh, no, she's done the same shit. What's the difference? Who gives a fuck?
I think the biggest difference is two things. One, those women that are going behind their husband's back, there's still a degree of shame. There's still a degree of like, oh, I shouldn't have done this, or maybe this was a mistake, or maybe she feels proud of it, but it's still a secret to some degree in most cases, right? What Bonnie has done, though, she's taken that dynamic. The actions are the same. I'm not debating the action, but the praise comes with it, as to say like, hey, I'm going to do this because I want to, because I'm a strong woman, and I'm going to get paid from it as well. I'm going to monetize my whorishness, and I think that is kind of the problem, because now it's like, well, people are doing pretty much anything for money. People are willing to throw morals to the wind for money, and people have always done that to some degree, let's say. But and you can even say the same. You can say that Tate did that when he first got rich with the pimping and stuff like that, the online pimping. You could make the case that he threw away morals in some degree for money, and I think he's even come out and said that he wasn't as moral of a man back then as he is now. So I don't think that is out of place to say that. But I think that's the biggest difference. Is like, when men are out with their wives, they're like, "Oh, this is who I used to be. I'm not like that anymore." And if it's a good woman, tries to do things that reassures her man that she isn't like that, assuming that the man is worthy of respect. But yeah, being open about being a whore and getting paid from it, those are two different things. That's, I think that's where it gets different. The actions are the same, but the shame after the actions is treated differently.
We're either going to care and accept that women are judged on their past and judged on their innocence and judged on their naivety and judged on these things like it used to be, or we're going to sit and say it doesn't matter, everyone has a past. Well, if everyone has a past, everyone has a past. Who gives a fuck? Does it really matter
So
anymore?
what would you do if it was your daughter, though?
You talk asking impossible questions.
Well, it's not an impossible question.
Of course it is.
How?
It can't happen.
But anything can happen.
It's against the laws of physics.
I mean, if your daughter opened her legs and took 1,000 dicks, it's not impossible.
Of course it is.
What? I
Why
mean,
is
the
it
dicks
impossible?
would enter her pussy, therefore she's taken.
It's literally impossible for my daughter.
What, are you going to be there against your daughter's pussy saying that dick's not entering it?
No, my daughter just wouldn't make that decision.
But why?
Because I still raise her in a household where she is masculinely guided, and she will be guided by me until I hand her over to some other man. However, I believe when women are left to their own devices, they will only ever make stupid decisions.
Was mine a stupid decision?
I wouldn't say it's any more stupid than most decisions women make, to be honest with you. I think that most women, to some degree, are sex workers anyway.
Huh.
Let's be honest about it, right? Most women look at Miami or Dubai. What's your job? Oh, I've got a boyfriend. So your job is being a girlfriend. And why does he give you money? Because you give him sex. So most women are sex workers anyway, to be honest.
But isn't that what you said the family unit was?
Well, then you're a sex worker with one customer. You know, which is nice. I guess it's better. It's more efficient.
I don't know. I think he might be playing, but I don't think you can boil marriage down. Well, he's talking about girlfriend and boyfriend, so fair enough, right? But I don't think that you can boil marriage down to simply sex work, because I've heard women try to make that comparison too, and they're like, well, marriage is basically just sex work, and you have one customer. No, like, there's other things outside of the sex that makes a marriage good. Now, granted, I understand, like, if I bought a house, you know what I'm saying, and they took away my bathroom and said I couldn't use the bathroom anymore, I'd be pissed. I'd be like, what do you mean I can't use the bathroom anymore? Yeah, the rest of the house is cool, but I need to use the bathroom. I have to use the bathroom. That's what it's like with sex. You know, a lot of marriages go sexless because the women just be like, you know what, I'm not going to do my duty anymore and sleep with you. I don't feel the need to sleep with you. And then they stop sleeping with their husbands. So I understand what he's saying. Like, there is an element of transaction resources for sex. That's like black and white baseline of any relationship between man and woman. I understand that, but I wouldn't make the case that's the crux of a good marriage. Now, boyfriend girlfriend in the modern era, sure, right? That's hookup culture 101. That's just you like me, I like you, cool, come over, sit on my face, blah blah blah. That's all bop 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 bop, right? That's a tale as old as time. But to quantify marriage as that, nah. But then again, you know, people aren't even getting married nowadays. You know, people aren't even getting married nowadays. We're under replacement rate. AI is taking over dating and stuff like that. And part of the reason why is because your options are people like Bonnie Blue. Maybe not people like her, but people who think the same like her and would do exactly what she has done if they could, or has done it. There was just no cameras back then. Those are your options. So tough.
If you're raising children, that's not sex work, is it?
No, that's being a mother.
Yeah.
All right, so that's interesting, Rob. Rob said this, not me. So they're either virgins, sex workers, or mothers. Are those the three
I
categories?
think you're putting words into my
I
mouth.
think that's what Rob just said. Those are the three categories.
I'm just sat in the middle.
And women have to choose to be one of them.
So is that what you think?
I think that when a woman becomes a mother, she has a purpose. And I think that women should be having children as soon as possible. And I think it gives their life a direction. And I think it's the most important thing to preserve society.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to talk about geopolitics and talk about race and all of these things. If you want to have a country that looks like the country it used to be, you need to have the original people from there having children. I think all of that is true. Absolutely. I think every day a woman goes without having kids is primarily a waste of time. But once again, what does it matter what I think? Most girls out here don't want to have kids. They just want to get Birkin bags and Instagram likes.
That's true.
Good. I'm a feminist, a pro-feminism. This is the world now. How the world's going to end up, who gives a fuck? Who cares about the future?
See, women go around, use sex to their advantage, but then are happy to cry about it straight away. Saying, oh, he took advantage of me. And it's like, you're the one that wanted to do sex to have like the job promotion, or you're the one that wanted to have sex to get more attention or try and be more liked. But then they cry about it. And that's what I get frustrated about. And even with porn stars, like people in my industry, they'll do this for a few years, get the money, get the boob jobs, get the house. And then suddenly they go, oh my God, I was forced into the industry. Oh my God, someone took all my money.
Have you ever considered a job as a lawyer?
Oh, well, hold on. Wait a minute. That was based. She was just basically saying like how women don't take accountability. And she said that's frustrating. And you can kind of tell because she owns it. She owns her stuff. She's like, yeah, this is what I do. This is who I am. She owns it. So yeah, she's saying like some chicks are halfway in, halfway out. They do all the things, but then on the back end, and we see this happen with Mia Khalifa, what's her face, Lana Rhodes, just to name a few. There's another chick that was like on a podcast crying, like she blew up a couple years ago after the fact. So this is 100% true. We do know that when the going gets tough, a lot of women do have buyer's remorse when people only associate their name with who they used to be and with what they used to do.
It could do with you. You're 100% right. So this is the false dichotomy of society, right? So this is the reason when I said I like what Bonnie does, because Bonnie completely 100% owns what she does. And she says, it's my decision. And I've seen people try and lecture you. And you're not saying anybody tricked you into it. It's your decision. And let's be honest, when they talk about taking women back 100 years, let's actually be very honest here, Rob. No disrespect.
No disrespect.
There's always been whores.
It's the oldest profession.
Ancient Rome had whores.
Yeah.
There's always been whores. The Aztecs had whores. You think there weren't concubines in the fucking Ming dynasty sucking little Chinese pee-pee? Of course there were.
Right.
There's always been whores. It's the oldest profession in the world.
Exactly.
So do you think it's a legitimate job?
Well, I mean, no, check her bank. I'm sure she's making fucking loads of money. So here's where do you draw the line? If we're going to live in this false dichotomy, because the world was very simple once, not too long ago.
Yeah.
And men had this terrible misogynistic view, which I, of course, don't agree with, that women can't make their own decisions because they're naturally chaotic. And when women decide anything, life's fucked up. In fact, these men in their disgusting misogyny believed if you gave women the vote, we'd end up with open borders and drag queen story hours. So they didn't give women the vote. Then they did give women the vote, and society took a particular direction. But when men were in charge of things, women didn't have to worry about what they can do with their life because their father took care of it and then their husband took care of it. But now we live in a brand new world where women can make all of their own decisions. And the path she's chosen, I don't think is any different than most paths women take. I think she's just more honest about it and more upfront about it. If you're going to go to Dubai, meet a girlfriend, and you think she hasn't been fucking for money the entire time she was living in Dubai, then you're an idiot. If you're in Miami and you got girls on your boat and you think they're not fucking for money all of the time, now they may not say per hour, but they'll be fucking a guy they barely like to get the rent paid. Or they're fucking a guy they barely like because he has a car.
Yeah.
So women are fucking for money all the time anyway. That's all women do now. The entire Western world is women fucking for money. So how hypocritical would it be for me to sit here and say, Bonnie, who's honest, who monetizes it directly with her own media empire, who's upfront about it and makes money from it, is a worse person than the girl who walks around like she's goody two-shoes and then sucks dick in a Magaluf toilet.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's what most girls do.
Yeah, that's fair. At least she's not hypocritical. Yeah, at least Bonnie's not hypocritical about it. Love it or hate it, think it's disgusting, whatever. She's the easiest person to throw rocks at because she owns it. But there's people that have probably done exactly what she's done, maybe even worse, that are standing behind her in silence. Because they're like, ooh, I want to get the money, want to get the cars, the bag, the clothes, whatever. But they don't want the smoke that comes with that. They don't want the shame. Bonnie just is like, look, this is what it is. So, hey, fair enough. Fair enough. She got more money than me. She got more money than me. So, hey, it is what it is. You can make the argument, is it destructive to society? Sure, but I mean there's a lot of things that are destructive to society and people are still going to do them. It's not like if you remove one vice, the other vices die with it. No. You know what I'm saying? If you remove smoking, people would start drinking more. You know what I'm saying? You remove drinking, they start. So it's the same thing in the corn industry. You know what I mean? You remove marriage and all those things off the table. All right, people start going to AI. Start loving AI robots. That gets too expensive. I don't know what it'll be next. Who knows? Right? Who knows? So yeah, I mean, she's gross, but she's open and honest about it. And the chick who you think isn't that gross probably done something similar. Matter of fact, I remember when I was in England, man, there was this one chick I was messing with, and she was getting passed around by the entire fire department. I'm not even joking. There's like 40 of us. White chick. Thick, like stupid thick, like thicker than the racial tension in the South in the 1800s thick. Like, ugh, crazy thick. Newfoundland fog thick. Crazy. And but she wasn't fat though. She was just thick, like flat stomach and like just crazy. And I'm smashing her. Other dudes, like we ended up at a party talking about this girl, not knowing that we was talking about this girl. And then we said her name. I'm not gonna say her name, but I said her name, and then it was like, that's exactly who I'm talking about. It was like 11 of us at this party talking about this one girl that we all had smashed within like a month, 2 weeks. It was like, yeah, I just went over to so and so place, and she had the little thing by the door. Yeah, bro. Like, yeah, that same chick. But she was so kind, so sweet, like would bake you a cake. It was like just a dope individual. Dope individual. But on the low, was doing some of the most nefarious stuff you could think of. Some of the nastiest stuff you could think of. On the outside, goody two shoes. On the inside, concubine. Like, and it's fine, it's cool. But again, I've ran into women like that where they look so good and so like hot. Pastors' daughters, so good and so kind and innocent, and you get them legs up on your shoulder, you like, oh, she a demon for real. She been wanting this. She been plotting on me since she saw me. This was already made up in her mind. So look, hey, more power to her. Look, more power to her. We're gonna go in a little bit more.
But anyway, Rob, the world media empire, who's upfront about it and makes money from it, is a worse person than the girl who walks around like she's goody two shoes and then sucks dick in a Magaluf toilet. Because that's what most girls are doing anyway. Rob, the world's fucked. They're all like this. Rob, they're all the same.
Are you trying to say I'm not special now?
No, I'm saying you're special, actually, because you've gone so far through. You've come out as the queen of it. Congratulations. Yeah.
But didn't you say this kind of thing is the demise of Western society?
I mean, if I was a misogynist, I would believe this is the final end result of feminism, and the end times are here, and that nobody's going to have kids anymore, and that the idea of a beautiful marriage between a man and a woman is now completely gone. I mean, if I was a disgusting misogynist, but since they keep
but you don't have one beautiful marriage, do you?
No, I don't. No, I don't.
Have you slept with 1,057 women?
At least.
So are you quite similar?
It's
Absolutely
not the same. Stop it.
Because it's the male's prerogative.
It's not the same at all.
To impregnate as many females as possible. This is the masculine prerogative. This is biologically my prerogative is to do that.
I think we should do a breeding competition. We'll see if you can get a girl pregnant quicker than I can get pregnant.
Well, I mean, that'd be a good competition. I think
That was an insane thing to say. We should do a breeding competition to see who can get pregnant fast. First of all, 9 months is 9 months. How are they even going to quantify that? Like, she just be saying stuff. And people are just like, that's Bonnie. Like, she's like that through and through. And fair enough. Cool. But what? A breeding comp? Like, what are you even talking about? Also, Rob is kind of like, I don't know, bro. Like, this dude in the middle right here, he's kind of a snake, low key, because he's like trying to like set traps a little bit for Andrew. I don't really like how he's conducting this conversation. He's like, well, you slept with 1,000 women. Does that make you any different? Nah, it's different for men and women. Now, you could argue, especially if you're a religious man such as Tate, that promiscuity is bad throughout. Whether you're a man or whether you're a woman, it's worse for women. You can make that case, but promiscuity on either end isn't going to strengthen the relationship. You could make that case, but let's not sit up here and act like men and women are the same, because we're not. You know what I'm saying? We're not. We're not the same. Most of the chicks I've slept with, I didn't like at all. I didn't care about them. I was just there to get what I needed and to get gone. But most good women, most women that are emotionally attacked, they're not going to do that. And how you notice is because if they don't like you, if a woman doesn't like you, she's going to make it hard for you to like see her and hang around her because she doesn't like you. I can't. So my pet hamster died. So I have to. It's going to be an excuse. She's going to flake if she doesn't like you. So if she doesn't like, if her not liking you means that she's not going to be willing to see you, obviously that means she's not going to be willing to give up the cheeks if she's not fucking with you. But if she likes you, it's the opposite. Dudes, we don't care. We'll be like, yeah, all right, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't care. Every dude got a 4 a.m. chick. The chick where everyone else has said no, everyone else is busy. We call up Anastasia. You know, Anastasia about 400 pounds. You know what I'm saying? But she get down though. She do anything you want. But she come waddling in there. You're like, damn, this is where we at tonight, boys. All right. You know what I'm saying? Strap up. Put 2 of them on. You know she got something. You can smell it coming in the door. Let's keep going.
I think I'd win. I don't know. I'm not sure about that one. But it's interesting because you have to look at society. When you look at these things, you have to look at society from an animalistic perspective and a societal perspective. From the animalistic perspective, it is the masculine imperative to get as many women as possible pregnant. Yeah, but if you want to be purely
it's
animalistic,
not 1512.
No, but let's be purely animalistic. Let's talk about this like professionals. If a man is high value, high testosterone, alpha male, whatever you want to call it, right? His imperative is to impregnate women. And he wants to take care of those women and take care of those kids. He's not overly interested in the kids. It doesn't mean he doesn't love them. It means he doesn't want to sit there and play with them all day. When you see a man who wants to play with a baby all day, that man is probably gay. It's fucking boring.
Well, it doesn't mean he wants to fuck the kid.
No, he's gay. He's gay. So real men just want to pregnant, money, cool. See you an hour a week. Boom, boom, boom. Now, there's a lot of men who are going to disagree with me on that, but those are a lot of men I can beat the shit out of, so I don't give a fuck. That's the truth of it. The female imperative is to find a man who's obsessed with her so that when she gets pregnant, she's going to have protection and provision when she's not capable of looking after herself.
That being said, though, I don't necessarily agree, though. I think he's talking more about like conquering. A lot of men just want to conquer. You know, they want to sleep with this chick, sleep with that chick, sleep with that chick. This one belongs to me. This one belongs to me. This one belongs to me. They've all been conquered. I think that's more so along the lines of what he's talking about. But society's not set up for that to be a possibility for most men unless you're just balling out like that. But I can say I agree, though, because you still have broke dudes with like 9 baby mamas. And if it wasn't a male imperative to sleep with a lot of women like that, then you wouldn't be seeing that often. You wouldn't really see that a lot of the time. That's just how, like when it comes to sex, men have a really low barrier to entry once that woman likes them. Like once they have gotten the sex, they don't really carry a lot of risk. Yes, there's STDs and stuff like that, but the same risk that you have, the woman has that plus getting pregnant for 9 months. And that has a whole nother realm of complications that men typically don't have to deal with. So I understand that viewpoint.
Female biological imperative and the masculine biological imperative. I'm still living to my biological imperative to some degree. If I were to, let's say, have 4 or 5 women and I had kids with 4 or 5 women and I took care of 4 or 5 women and I was with all of them and they were exclusively only with me and we had children over and over and over again, that's my biological imperative. It's actually against the female biological imperative to do what Bonnie is doing, I would argue, traditionally. But that means you break paradigms. That's great. But feminism and society and this brand new societal conditioning is convincing women that what they're supposed to do, which is find a man they love and be obsessed with him and get pregnant from him, is the wrong thing to do. Well, then let's all just become sex workers now. But
you disagree with that feminist
I don't have an opinion, Rob, because I have 14 criminal cases. I don't have an opinion. I'm just here. I'm a commentator. I'm just commentating.
Commentators have opinions.
I don't have an opinion. No.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
you can do whatever you want.
Like Rob is like low key trying to set him up. Like he keeps throwing shots. Like, well, what do you think? Like, I don't know if they're like friends and he's just like messing with him like that, or what the case may be. But Yeah, at the end of the day, yeah, society's going down. Society's going to hell in a handbasket, as my grandmother would say, and it's tough. It's tough because if you're the kind of guy who like really wanted a family, like really wanted a relationship and really wanted kids, and it's like you got to really take a step back and look at the world. You know what I'm saying? Like 20-30% of women 18 to 35, I think they got OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? The other 50%, they got kids by someone else, drug problems. Like the list goes on and on. And it's like, is that the type of woman you want just so you can get married? Probably not. Probably not. If you're the type of guy who's been working on yourself, you're gonna have a certain threshold that you want your partner to be on. And strung out on antidepressants probably ain't it. You know what I'm saying? It's probably not the realm, probably not the vibe you want your significant other on. So I don't know. Yeah, hell, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. So get right. You know what I'm saying? Find you a person before these AI androids start coming out with curves and titties. Because once that happens, it's a wrap. You can put the once you can put the persona and the model that you want. Hey, listen, this relationship's really finna be over then. It's finna be done. People ain't even gonna be messing with real people no more. And that's sooner. That's coming sooner than we think. It's coming sooner than we think, man. Like, it's getting bad. But that's all I got for this video, guys. If you have another video that you would like to watch me react to, please drop it down in the comment section below, and I will be putting your name right here. Also, the best way to help out the YouTube channel is to like another one of the videos that you see popping up on the screen. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.